Hey, beautiful people. Andrew the Realtor here with my March 2023 housing market update specifically for my friends over at Willowbrook and Willowdale and Newtonbrook East. Oh, that's hard to say. I'm just gonna ad lib the rest of that. So listen, here's the thing about this specific market update. I'm gonna give you a whole bunch of information right off the bat before I even get to the stats of the sales and the average prices of last month. And we're well into the end of March here, and this one's a little bit later, but I'm going to have inflation numbers and some very important stuff for you guys to think about. If you're sellers, you're going to need to double check your plans, and if you're buyers, you might be a little bit late for the maximum deal, so to speak, but you're in a good position. So here we go. Right off the bat, let me minimize myself here. Get right to this. I honestly provide a lot of very good information, so please stay tuned. Some of you guys bounce off after a minute and a half or so. Please don't check in. I'll try to go through this as fast as I can without speaking too fast, which is a bit of a habit. So buyers, pay attention. Sellers, double check your plans. Buyers, I'll do my best not to say I told you so, which is something I did in the other GTA market update that I did for all the GTA a couple of weeks ago. That's on the YouTube as well. Have a look at that. So onward. As always, right off the bat, my intent is to provide valuable information that you're not going to get from possibly other realtors. That's possible. You might get from somebody. Certainly not from the news, certainly not from the articles, certainly not from the statistics that people throw out there, and you can do anything with statistics. Someone had a quote about that, but I'll leave that alone. So please hit like and subscribe. If you're watching this on YouTube, please hit there. It doesn't provide me. I didn't make any money off it. All I know is that somebody's going to get information the next time I put something out. Of course, I have great listings coming out as well, so that's something you guys might be interested in. And of course, I have a program to let everybody, including yourselves, know if a neighbor is hitting the market or selling, that kind of thing. It's absolutely free. You can put in your information. The link is at the bottom of the video. In the description of the video, you'll hit that in there. It's totally for you, and it's free, and it's really good information because you'll actually know the sale prices of homes around you that actually sold. So there's that. That's for you guys. Value, value, value. So right off the bat, I'm going to create a theme as to what's happening in the market. If you don't know, if you're unsure, or maybe you get some negative news that you've been listening to more recently, here are the inflation numbers as of about a week and a half ago in March. So February numbers, 5.2%. So significant drop, a 0.7 drop. So here we are in June of last year, 2022. That's the height of the market. The height of the inflation numbers. Pretty nuts. I mean, over 8%. I know some other countries did much worse. Even the U.S. was higher. It's still, I believe, higher. Well, somewhere around there. Certainly, they need to come down. We still need to come down. But we ended last year in December at 6.3 with an average of 6.8 for the year, and started this year 5.9, 5.2. Now, inflation interest rates are, at least according to what the government and the banks have been telling us for the past, half a year at least, or more, inflation and interest rates are kind of linked together. So now the inflation numbers are coming down, it's going to be harder and harder for them to keep the interest rates up, as is evidenced by the most recent lack of increasing the interest rates here in March. Now, in the U.S., they went up a quarter. We did not. Now, obviously, different timing, and there's some stuff happening in the U.S. as we speak with SVB and those kind of things. I'll discuss that in a second. Still, inflation numbers coming down. What is it going to do to interest rates? Interest rates have a lot of correlation to the housing market as well. Not everything, but a correlation. Let's go to the next one. So here's something very interesting. It's a survey. So here's a survey that was done recently, just towards the end of March, after the interest rate hike, the lack of the interest rate hike. They had the meeting, didn't increase the interest rates in March. So have your plans to purchase a home been postponed? Okay, they said yes, a little bit. For the most part, no, I was not planning to buy a home at this time. So there is some hesitancy initially. Those who have postponed their home purchase plans, how have higher rates impacted your home buying budget? Higher rates have greatly reduced the value of home that I can afford. So the point being, a large number of the population was impacted. A large population was impacted specifically by interest rates. So there's hesitancy in interest rates. Notice this. Of those who have postponed, so that's these people, they postponed, large number of people. Since the Bank of Canada did not make a change in the overnight lending rate, do you plan to resume your search? Yes, I will resume my home buying plans this spring. Okay, that's a big survey. So people are coming back, as evidenced by all the multiple offer situations that I'm seeing right now. So there's a lot more interest. Onward. Of those who plan to resume their search, what kind of mortgage? Okay, most of them are using a 4 or 5 fixed. I would really definitely talk to a professional mortgage broker and find out specifically. I'm thinking 1 to 2 years maybe, because there's going to be some drop. Again, there's a theme. Inflation lowering, interest rates right now so far the same. What's going to happen to them? Onward. Historical rates. Okay, so here we go. Pretty interesting number. Let me move myself out of the way here. So we got back from 2006, 7, 8, and up to now. So the reason I made that blue line, that's where we're at currently. So look at the top around the 2008. Before it was a little bit lower before that. Now, I didn't go back to 1990. I understand things were much higher before that, all that stuff. But I mean, realistically speaking, as to what is happening in the world, That was a housing crisis in the U.S. Did not impact Canada nearly as well. We have a more stringent kind of banking system. But nonetheless, we're here. There's not a lot of upside here. I mean, there's a heck of a lot of low downside. I don't think we'll see this again, and not for a long time. But nonetheless, these are the discounted rates that the mortgage providers were providing. So how much more up is there? There's certainly a lot more even or down. Again, there's a theme developing here. Very important, especially if you're a buyer. So this is from British Columbia Real Estate Association. Their forecast. It's BC, not Ontario, I know, but nonetheless, it's Canadian. I thought to throw this in as an idea, especially for those of you in Willowdale, Newtonbrook. Some of the things have been selling in the past months. We'll discuss that in a second. Notice the interest rates. So Q1, this is where we're at right now. Variable rates, da-da-da. The point being, down. 2024, down slightly, down slightly. Some people, 5-year qualifying rate, 5-year average discount rate, feel free to pause this and have a look. They're anticipating it lower and lower. Some of the mortgage people that I speak to are already seeing fixed rates coming down, or have been down since last week, towards the last 2 weeks of March. That's interesting. So again, the idea of interest rates going up, not very likely. Interest rates, possibility of rates coming down, maybe even the first half of 23, possibly, small percentage. Second half of 23, almost likely at this point. Watch this. SVB, obviously, have you heard about that? The bank that went, I don't know what the word insolvent, or forgive me, I'm probably using the wrong term, but nonetheless, instability. So clearly some bank issues down south. I spoke to some money people just this past week. So money markets have priced in a 40% chance that the Bank of Canada could see an interest rate cut at its next decision on April 12th. So 40% chance, not a big deal. The point being, the idea is not up, it's down. I want this to be very important. The whole point of this, inflation, the idea, downwards. Interest rates, flat or downwards. That's the intent. What happens to the housing market when that happens? What's been happening so far? Up. Notice. Here are the numbers of Willowdale and Newtonbrook East, specifically, my friends, looking out for you. If you're watching this and you're just in North York, pay attention to this anyways, because it's going to be somewhat similar. These are obviously higher. A lot of these homes are more expensive, but nonetheless, take a look at this, and I'll give you context, which is very important. Less properties sold, 110 in February 22, 66. February 22 was about the market high. Very beginning of March of 22, that was the market peak. And then it started coming down towards the end of March, April, down to July, where it's kind of flattened out, and it's been that way since, from July to about January, February of 2023 this year. Notice, average days on market, it's high. Of course it's high. Keep in mind, Willowdale and Newtonbrook has some beautiful homes. Some of your homes right now, I've seen many of your homes. They're very nice. They're also a bit on the expensive side, generally speaking. For the area, I wouldn't say that, but generally speaking, the GTA, yes. Hence, those homes tend to sit a little bit longer. Also, please understand, these are February stats, not March stats, which I'm going to have for you probably in a couple of weeks. February was a month after January that, obviously, that people were still unsure of what the market was doing. Sellers were getting frustrated. Some sellers sold, I feel, too soon. One of the reasons they were under pressure, so to speak, is that buyers were not yet educated. They didn't know what the market was doing. So both buyers and sellers had the idea, because they don't watch my newsletters or my market updates, that the market is going to be going down more. So sellers are, you know what? I'll just, I bid lots of equity. I'll sell it like this, and I won't sell it for less, a month from now, not knowing that the prices are actually going up a little bit, month over month. Nonetheless, average days on market in the area, almost 50 days, month and a half. Notice last year, February 2022, 16 days. 16 days. What a market that was. Craziness. Is it healthy? Not really. Detached are down particularly. Notice in red. I want to make sure that it's not the best, especially if you're a homeowner losing equity like that. But keep in mind, minus 11.4% detached. Semis and townhouses, very little different. In 22, there were 4 sold for 1.7 million. Townhomes, but which ones, right? Condo townhomes were sold. There's 5 sold for $959. That was this year, which is down 21%. But again, it's comparing 5 is a very small number. Who knows where the townhomes are, what kind they are, that kind of thing. So my biggest thing is condos and detached that give me a good idea of where things are at. Condos down 11%, detached down 11%. This is compared to February of 2022, the height of the market. Now, keep this in mind, and this is what I'm going to start encouraging you guys. Please make sure if you're not working with me, make sure your realtors know this. Please. Willowdale, Newtonbrook, those numbers you saw, down 11%, something, down 11%, something. Okay. Detached, those same numbers are actually up about 12% from February of 2021. On average. That's not every home, that's on average. So down from 22, but from 21, up 12. Now, in 2 years, 12%. Is that pretty decent for an investment? I'd say so. Give or take a Condo apartments up about 11% from February of 2021 on average. On average. So yes, we're down quite a bit from the absolute height of the market. But as I've mentioned to many people, even this month and last month, in the history of the GTA, or at least Toronto Real Estate Board and a little bit longer, whenever the market's corrected itself, it's never not come back after 2 years. So every 2 years, unless it happens for the first time, and I'm not seeing it, I'm seeing it come right back up again. So we're up 12% from 2 years ago. Condos up 11%. That's what I want you guys to know. Keep in mind. That's the context you need to keep in mind when you're looking to do something. Okay, so quick summary. Buyers, this is pretty much from last month, so forgive me for doubling, but I'll mention this specifically. Forgive me. You're actually a little bit late. Buyers. Beginning of February and January was the time to go. Why? Because, well, you had opportunity. Folks wanted to sell, wanted to get rid of their home, not knowing what the market was going to be doing. So buyers, those thinking about moving and buying, it's a great time to buy. It is a great time to buy. Stop hesitating. Whoever's telling you to hesitate, not a good idea. Inventory is higher, increasing, and prices are increasing as well. A little bit by little, but it's still coming up versus January of this very same year. Mortgage interest rates are higher, absolutely, but you can still get a 1 or 2 year mortgage. Get a 3-year mortgage. See where the rates are going? By the time you got to refinance, they'll be lower. FYI, or get a different kind. Get the kind you can maybe change later. Fixed to a variable fixed. Those things do exist. So more options, lower prices, less competition. Literally, what many buyers have been asking for. You're getting it. What are you hesitating for? What's holding you back now? Let me know. Put it in the comments or give me a call. I've got my information at the bottom of the video. So, quick summary: sellers. Sellers are very important. Please pay attention. If you're looking to sell, planning on possibly selling, or maybe on the market right now with another realtor, God bless you. Be realistic about the price. Don't cave to the pressure. That's what happened in January. A lot of sellers caved to the pressure. They thought, they didn't watch my market update, they thought the market was going to come down. It hasn't. It's gone up. If you follow the advice above, you got or will get a better price this month or next. Absolutely, positively true. I'm holding on to that. Remember that you're also buying in the same market. This is where this is at. A lot of the stuff I spoke about, the possible lowering of interest rates, definitely already lowering of inflation rates, the inflation numbers. Prices are going to be going up. It's a good time to buy before things get really particularly heavy. So that to say is, if you're buying and selling in the same market, first of all, that's pretty much the same thing. You're not going to catch it perfectly, but you should be just fine. The other thing is, if your concern was, where am I going to buy? Well, now there's lots of inventory. So you could sell, buy something nice, upsizing, downsizing, whatever you're doing in a fairly good market where things are moving along. If you're just selling, it's a good market to start putting it out there and seeing what happens to your property. There's lots of multiple offer situations. Lots. Remember, you're buying this in the same market. That's very important. Make sure your home looks good, especially in pictures. Guys, I can't emphasize this enough. I have a great cell phone. Believe me. This camera, it's a nice little camera. It's nothing compared to a professional thing. This is a joke compared to the professional pictures, professional lighting that people use when they're selling a $3, $4, $5 million home. Please get professional photography. I've got all those people. If necessary, give me a call. Make sure it looks good. Don't overstage it. Something I've seen quite a bit of recently. Not good. My stagers never overstage. It's actually minimally staged, so the house looks great and everything points to the best feature of each specific room. Don't forget how much equity you've gained over the years. Guys, keep this in mind. I know for many of you it's not an investment. Myself neither. My home is not an investment. It's a place I live with my family. But being in the GTA, the equity builds up. Keep that in mind. Remember what you bought your house for. Sellers, especially in North York, especially Willowdale, Newtonbrook, pay attention to this. Here's something very, very interesting. Laneway homes are becoming a big deal. If you're selling and if your lot is anything like this, keep this in mind. Give me a call. I know people that actually do this for a living. They check, they give you inspection on the home specifically, and I can provide that as my own service. And they can tell you whether if it's possible for you to have a laneway home, a backyard home, or anything of that nature, which is astounding, increases the value. You don't even have to build it in. If you just put it on your listing that it's possible, it's a very big deal. I'll give you some more information here. So this is one example right here. This is the front of the house here. It's a street. It's a corner lot. Corner lots are particularly good for this, but it doesn't have to be a corner lot. Here's the home. Here's this big backyard. Right there where the arrow is, they're going to have a house built there. Second unit, which is allowed in Toronto as of just recently. So, and there's lots and lots of permits. So this is a side picture of the house. Nice big house over there, blah, blah, blah. But here is the long backyard. Right in here somewhere, a house. Another house. Not a huge house. 1,000 square feet, 1,100 square feet. But it's housing. It'll be worth quite a bit. And it can be done, what I'm told, around $500-ish per square foot. Have a look at this. Here's just a map of it. Same thing right here. There's the new house that's going to be. Here's the current house. Yeah, it has to, obviously, the footprint and everything has to work, but the rules are definitely leaning towards that in Toronto. And of course, guys, I can give you much more information on that feel free to contact me. You have my contact info at the bottom of the video. Always providing value to you guys specifically. Look, the market is doing particularly well. It's going to be a normal year, a busy year. There are lots of multiple offer situations all over the place. Even in, for example, Willowdale, I saw 2 or 3 homes sell in less than a week in the past 3 or 4 weeks that were significant price, $2 million and plus. One was a little bit under $2 million. And they sold under 7 days in multiple offers, above asking, of course, because they listed a little bit lower, with the exception of one, I believe. The point being, things are happening, guys. So I'm providing value. Hit like and subscribe. Click on the little link at the bottom of the email for that software that gives you information, but your area specifically goes out to you. I won't bug you. I'm around. If you guys need anything, obviously, I can check in. But that's all yours. It's free. It's a free service. I'm happy to give you until, I guess, April 2023. I'll see you guys. Do take care. Call me if you have any questions. You need any more information on anything. Thanks for the attention.